This is the third video of the LLCO series on socialist feminism. So far, we have already covered traditional Marxist theory in the first video, as well as third worldist theory on the subject in the second video. We have learned how deeply interwoven the problems of women are with capitalism in general. It is now easy to understand how great the potential of this topic is for radicalization. Bourgeois propagandists are well aware of this fact. That's why they invest a lot of effort to blur the reality of class relations. Here's an example of how this looks in practice. After World War II, imperialist intelligence agencies decided to fight progressive movements by influencing their discourse. The idea is simple. If you can't make people believe in the system, then at least make them fight by means that are not a threat to the system. For this reason, the CIA famously promoted pseudo-leftist artists and intellectuals with alternative ideas that were much less dangerous to the status quo. Aside from promoting Trotskyist lies about the Soviet Union, these ideas served to cover up the class character of oppression. These efforts of the imperialist propaganda apparatus have led us to a situation in which many Western feminist movements generally no longer consider capitalism as the source of women's oppression. Instead, the blame is on men alone. They tell women across all social strata to unite, even with capitalists. Effectively speaking, the oppressed, that is, the proletariat, are being divided and set against each other. While they are fighting, the capitalists continue making profits without having to fear of losing their privileges. Let's take a deeper look on what exactly is wrong with these new bourgeois narratives. First of all, the idea of women uniting across all borders and social strata is flawed, because first world bourgeois women profit from the exploitation and commodification of women in the third world. It's no secret that many women and children have to suffer in the making of pornography, especially in the third world. They are often victims of human trafficking and rape. Among those who profit from this dirty business are not only male, but also female producers like Christy Hefner, who leads Playboy Enterprises. Even self-employed actresses are indirectly profiting from the suffering of women elsewhere. Their customers can only earn their super wages due to the exploitation of the third world. There's a second notion among bourgeois feminist ideas which is quite problematic. It claims that the Western sex industry is somehow a means for the empowerment of women because it enables them to earn money with their bodies independently of men and completely self-determined. There are many errors in this notion. First, many women slip into this sector out of financial need. Second, sexist stereotypes of women which we should try to overcome are hereby being perpetuated, reinforced, commercialized and ultimately legitimized. Lastly, the profits of Western women are usually generated in the third world, where women don't see much of this alleged empowerment. By now it should be clear that bourgeois feminism is part of the problem. It keeps women in a situation in which their conditions are not going to be better. It shifts the blame from the actual culprits to other victims of this very same system. It's a tool to hand-tame otherwise progressive movements. This and the last video have talked a great deal about how the exploitation of the third world benefits people in the first world. And yet, first world women do not live in a paradise of gender equality because capitalism is unable to solve several problems for them since it is creating them. The next and final video will explain why first world women might still want to overcome capitalism despite their immediate, albeit short-term, material interests.